Hey everyone, this is Anna here, and I just wanted to show you how I do a quick carving here on this mug. It has a hummingbird. Um, so I added clay here because the mug is quite thin, uh, and and then these are all hand sculpted. I want just looking at the picture, and I just made these flowers according to my reference that I was using, and then adding this hummingbird here. And now I'm just doing like a light carving. I use this graffito tool first just to mark where I want the lines to be on the wings and on the tail. And now I'm using one of my Diamondcore tools for carving. So this is a new clay for me. It's by Kentucky Mudworks. It's called White Bear, and that's the first time that I'm using. That was the first time throwing on the wheel, which was very nice. It was very soft, the clay, so it was nice, and it seems to be very nice for carving as well. So we'll see the results. I'll share the results with you once it's all finished and glazed. So this is stoneware, not porcelain that I'm used to doing. Like I said, I'm just using some of the lines I looked on the picture. And the flowers are orange. And I'm not sure what flowers these are, but they were on the picture. It almost looks to me like some type of jasmine, because it seemed to be a vine from what I saw on the picture. When I'm all done, I'll just brush the clay. But right now it's a leather hard stage. And because this is kind of small to use my other um, relief carving tools, is a little bit bigger, and you see how the lines are so close together. I usually like to use this tool here. Let me see if I can do it with this one. Yeah, it's a little bit too large for this type of work here that I'm doing. So I do like this one, and I also like the one that comes to a point, makes like a V. I'm just trying different ones at this point and see kind of results I get here on my feathers. These are the wing feathers. I don't know, I think I'll continue using this one. This one is, let me see, P28. It comes to a point, but it's a little bit rounded. I'm going a little deeper now just because when I glaze, it will show more the glazing. The I You can either use a celadon glaze, right, to show the texture, or in my case, I like to paint using underglaze. So I'm gonna paint it at bisque. After I do the bisque fire, I'm gonna paint. You can use your whatever engobes or pigments or underglazes. In my case, I'm gonna use my underglazes, and then I'll do the clear glaze over. I use Kittens Clear, which is a glaze you can Google and find the recipe. I mixed that one. You can find the recipe at glazy.org, or John Britt's book, Mid-Range, Exploring Mid-Range Glazes, is on that book. And I love that glaze. The real nice, reliable, glossy, clear glaze for mid-range. So cone 6, cone 5. So this part of the wing here, it almost looks like a little bit separate part of the wing, but it's not. It's just a different feathers, I guess, from what I've seen in the picture. Again, I'm just going by memory here because I'm not looking at the actual picture. I took a look right before the video so I could remember. Usually when I do this, I have my reference right in front of me, so it's much easier. I could have printed the picture, but I didn't. I took a quick look again before the video so I could demo for you guys to see how I go about making these lines for the feathers. But to me, it looked like they're just a set of separate different feathers in here on the wings that forms this separation here, I believe. And they're lighter towards the end and darker over here, almost like a purplish gray color. Very pretty. And again, these are much smaller over here on this side of the feather of the wing. Much closer together. Let's see. Yeah, you see how they're much closer here. Same thing on this one. So in order to create that separation, I'm going to remove some of this clay here. So this one comes out a little bit more, shows like it's protruding more. So I am using my new uh, microphone, so hopefully it will be a little bit better now, the sound. I just got that for my birthday. My son's gifted to me, which is nice. I really needed, and I'm testing it out. Um, Also, I got a new holder for my iPhone that goes right above what I'm doing, so I can get a real um, close-up shot of what I'm doing. Hopefully that will help also. And it's got a light, an LED light right above. I am trying to improve my videos to help you guys out so you can see better how I do things. I do love carving. It's a very relaxing um, thing to do, activity, I guess. When I'm carving, the time just goes by and you don't even feel it. So now I'm just going to continue the lines here that I just removed just to show the different levels of the wing. You can see how this wing here is behind this one. So, and you can do a lot when you paint. Also, you can add the shadow to make things appear more, on the background or on the foreground. You can add more light to it. But so far, I like how the carving is going real smooth here on this clay. Like I said, this is the first time doing it in this clay body here. So later on, what I'm gonna do is using this graffito tool, I can really go, because it's a real fine detail, I can really go around these and do the round feathers at the end. Same thing here. To really add the finishing work, I go around and really clean up these. As you can see, every feather here to separate each one, to make them show up more. You can do a lot on your last touch up that you do after you carve. But so far, there is no dragging. The clay seems to be very, very smooth to carve, so I like it. And I can't wait to see the results. Now, same thing here. Um, the body, he's turned, most of his body is showing up. So this here is the back behind. This is the back of his tail. So I'm going to take a little bit more from here. So you can add more clay when it was still a little wet. That's the time to add clay, and now it's just removing. It's the subtraction time. You add when it's a little bit wet, as I did here. I added clay, and now that is leather hard, you can remove it. Same thing here. I'm removing it to show that this is the back of the tail. So this is his body right here, and I'm dividing it to show a little bit better, to show that this is the back of his tail. And then with the paint, you can just make it look darker over here. You can create a little shadow, and then making the body here a little lighter. So now I'm being really careful not to touch these petals here, because as you can see, they kind of curve. And the way it is this is the back of the flower, like he's going in, and the flower, this is not the top of the flower, this is the back of it. That's why you see this stem, and this is the vine. And he is about to go, to the middle of the flower. So I made the petals a little bit curved over here. Just cleaning up. But at this stage, it's so fragile, so I'm gonna be very careful not to really touch that area there, so I don't want to break it. And here's what you do, the rounded little feathers that he has here, almost like fish scales. That's what it looks like. And this is just my graffito tool from Diamondcore. And it's nice because it has the two ends. The two, one is bigger, the other one is a real fine. I'm using the real fine one to make these. And you see how I'm doing it on an angle? So I'm not doing it like this. I'm holding it on an angle so it creates that relief. It looks like there was another set of feathers, different feathers in here. That's what I'm trying to do in this part of his, almost like he has like a short tail and then the longer feathers. So let's see how he looks right now. Also over here by his eyes, he's a little bit lower. So I'm removing some of this clay here to make the part of his upper. It's almost like the top of his eye protrudes more than the rest of his body. So that's what I'm doing right here. So since I have this graffito tool in my hand, that's all I'm using is this graffito tool. So this is that part right above his eye that protrudes more right here. And then his little beak. It's so thin already, so I'm not gonna go, I'm just making a real faint line, but I don't want to mess with it too much because it's already really, you know how the hummingbird beak is really skinny. So, and it's so fragile right now. Don't want to do too much with this right now. And again, I'm going all around his whole body. Rounding his feathers here at the end. Doing the finishing work. I think you guys get the idea. This is the part that I like to do the most because you can really see it transformed when you do the finishing work. And you know that's the final step. It really comes to life. Drying very fast because of my heater I have going on here. But this is my hummingbird mug with some flowers. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.